Hello siblings, how are you doing? So it's a lovely day today, it's very sunny, and I thought I'd take advantage of such nice weather to have a chit chat to you on my balcony. I've not really had much use of it over the winter season, but it is very hot, and me and Lucy had our morning coffee out here this morning. I made a good old chinwag, and yeah, so I picked the nicest spot to record a nice little video for you. Yeah, I find generally my mood is better when it's sunny. Even though I like to think that I like gloomy, dark weather, I think probably I'm happier in the summer, definitely. Although I don't like the heat. Well, there's inevitably something like way more staged about me sitting on my balcony talking to a camera. I think I prefer it to just like taking my phone around with me because, one, the quality might be slightly better, but also, like, I'm able to think through what I'm saying, and hopefully the content will be a little bit more watchable for you. So what have I been up to recently, I suppose I should talk about. I've just been a bit busy. There's a lot of shit work I've had to do for Guildhall. There's a module we have to do called Professional Studies, and it's basically just full of like crap. We had to organise a concert for it, and then we have to do a self-reflective essay when we talk about lessons we've given and lessons we've observed. We have to interview a professional in our field of professionalness. We have to observe a workshop. We have to do a SWOT analysis, which is the biggest pile of bullshit I've ever heard in my life. If you don't already know, SWOT stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And it's the kind of thing like sometimes at a business interview they might ask you, oh, bring along a SWOT analysis so we can discuss your personality. And of course inevitably you have to kind of bullshit your way through and like turn every weakness into a positive, like oh, I always try too hard, or I just can't finish without getting the job done, that kind of bollocks. So yeah, I've been doing that. I've been finishing some Guildhall work, so I've finished my orchestral piece now, which is in for the end of April. I need to format the scores a bit just to make them look nice, but that's a few hours work, and that's, it's 5 minutes long. It's a dubstep piece for orchestra, so that'll be really exciting, really loud, and hopefully I'll get a really good recording of it, because I've tried to get the balance between writing a really good piece of music that's also quite easy to play for the players, because I try not to be too critical, but generally the players at Guildhall are not great. There's some that stand out, but they're not brilliant players, and they're certainly not good sight readers. As well as that, I'm working on a piece, and it's got to be for instrument and electronics. And basically, I'm using my talk box, and I'm writing a song for basically sound that I'm putting through the talk box. And interestingly, the text that I've chosen to set for my piece is Humbert Humbert's poem from Lolita, and it's the one that ends, my car is limping Dolores Haze, and the long last lap is the hardest, and I shall be dumped where the weed decays, and the rest is rust and stardust. And I know the last the last verse more than I do the first one, because I tend to start writing when I write a piece at the end, so I know where it's going. So I know that verse very, very well. And I think I'm actually going to call the piece Rust and Stardust, because that's quite eloquent and quite artistic. As well as that, I've been writing 2 pieces, a piece for Ash and a piece for Beth, because they've both got their finals in July. And in your final, you have to play 40 minutes or so of music. And in that, you have to have a piece that was written in the last 50 years. And they both chose to have me write a piece of music for them. They're both clarinetists, but they're very different pieces. Ash said to me, I'd like an Artie Shaw type piece. And Artie Shaw was, one of a bit like Glenn Miller, very 40s big band swing music. And I've kind of taken that and run with it, really. I've written him it's an 8-minute piece, and it's for clarinet, upright bass, drums, and piano. It's very jazzy and cool, a bit of fun. And then Beth really wanted something that was like a bit more out there and a bit weird. So hers is 12 minutes long. It's for bass clarinet, which is a fantastic instrument. I've never had the chance to write for it before, and it's for bass clarinet and electronics. So that kind of takes into, we've got a bit of tape going on. We've got some interesting reverbs and delays. We've got some distortion putting through. At one point we put the bass clarinet through the talk box, so it'll sound crazy. We've got a feedback loop going as well. So that's really exciting. It's given me a chance to kind of play with all my toys, which is really exciting. I've seen a lot of plays recently, actually, since I last talked. Last time we talked, I'd seen Girls. Since then, I've seen The Play That Goes Wrong, which is a fantastic play. It's basically, the idea is that you go to the theatre and an amateur dramatic society is putting on a play, and it just goes dreadfully. Everything that could go wrong goes wrong in terms of actors dying and stage bits falling off, and it's hilarious. That was really funny. Then we saw it on the last night it was on, Dirty Great Love Story, which is a 2-person play. Again, it's a comedy, very, very funny, and I would definitely recommend if it was still on. And by the way, I didn't pay for any of this. Like, we get all this for free because we're lucky. Then what else did we see? We saw I saw Killer, which was a fantastic production. It was through Matty, actually, because Matty designed the set. And managed to get us tickets. Me and Lucy went to see it, and it's a one-man play, but it's very strange. I would say it's more immersive theatre than a play, because basically it was in Shoreditch Town Hall in like the basement, and you go down there, and there was just this square of like seats all pointing out, and you sit down and you put a pair of headphones on, and then the lights just went out, and it was very scary, and it was so dark, it was just pitch black, you couldn't see a thing at all, and then the actor. Obviously you couldn't see him, but he was like in a couple of rooms away, around a binaural mic, which is a microphone that records surround sound. So he was like walking around the microphone and speaking, and he was like this psycho weird killer. And it sounds, because you've got headphones on, that he's walking around you and like whispering in your ear. And I'm convinced that like there were some like weird effects as well, because like there were points where I was sure he was breathing down my neck, and it was so creepy. And there's only about 20 people in the audience, so that was a really cool production. And then on Thursday, we did pay for this, but we went to see Gershwin's American in Paris, and oh my god, it was amazing. I mean I love the the music from like the 50s and that, and it's just beautiful, and it just like the singing and the dancing. It's a bit cheesy, but I love it, and it's the real American pinnacle, I think, of music. And I haven't decided what I'm doing for Easter yet. I think I might be returning home the Saturday before Easter Sunday. So whenever that is, I don't know, the 14th maybe, 15th, who knows. So Neil, I might see you then. Ruth, it'll probably still be a while before I see you, but thanks to the internet, we can see each other sooner than that, can't we? I think that's a nice length for me to now cut this off. It's nice to have a little chit-chat in the sun with you, my siblings. And I hope you're both well, and I'm sure we'll be in touch soon. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.